How good is this starting to look? Today is day number 17 on this, so we're going to give it another mow today. I've just backlapped the mower again, just to make sure it's cutting super clean. Gonna give it a mow, gonna get some liquid fert down. The bent grass has turned up, so hopefully we're gonna sow the bent this week. Might not be in this video, but it will definitely be in the next video. Gonna get some of the ryegrass seed that washed onto the green off there today as well, show you guys how much germinated. Just gonna keep maintaining this and probably even overseed the ryegrass one more time in those thin areas where we've had some wash or it hasn't germinated as well, because I wasn't hand watering for the first week and a half. So let's get into it. So you can see from the last time I shot a video here, which is only 4 days ago when I actually filmed it, it's definitely thickened up. It's got a bit more color. That mow that I did has really helped a lot of the grass tiller, but it is still thin. There is thin areas all throughout it. We did get a crazy heavy storm on Saturday evening. We got about 25 mil in, I think it was about 2 hours. We didn't get any wash, which is amazing. It goes to show how much of a difference having some actual grass there stops erosion and stop stuff washing. So we had no problems with the drain over the back there, nothing ran down through the side, and the grass held in place really well. But it looks a lot thicker, but it still needs to get thicker. So looking on the side, you can see it looks really thick. As soon as you start walking over it, it does look a lot thinner. So for example, an area like this that looks this thin, that will thicken out and look really thick within probably another 2 to 3 weeks if we keep mowing it, keep some fertilizer up to it, and keep maintaining it well. It looks thin, but it will thicken up. There is some areas though that I would like to overseed. For example, where are we? It's not really much around this side. It's more once we get around, like spots like that, I'd probably consider putting a little bit of extra seeding because it is still a little bit too thin just there. And there's just a couple of spots like that around the area. I think over the other side in that little S in the middle there is also a few spots that need a little bit of extra seed. So this time round, since there's enough grass coverage, I would just put the seed out on top, which is probably what I'm going to do just now, and then roll it in afterwards. And then I'm going to put down some liquid fertilizer on top of that to really just get this leaf that's currently here thickening up, tillering quicker, allowing the roots to establish nicely. So I'll show you what the mix is going to be in a minute and what's going to actually be in the mix to help do that. But yeah, and then another spot, for example, is here. Like this spot definitely needs a little bit more seed. But all in all, like a bit over 2 weeks, very happy with these results. With how warm it's been too. Like if it was a little bit cooler, probably it'd be a little bit easier, but hey, doesn't matter. So we are starting to get some weeds. I told you guys we'll probably get that because this wasn't the cleanest soil in the world. There was stuff that was from in the paddock existing. We did give it a couple of hits with glyphosate, but stuff's still going to come up. That's just the way it is. But we're not getting too many weeds. It's only mostly broadleaf, which is super duper easy to control. So I'm going to put down probably some bow and arrow or turf control. Probably once the new seed I put down today is about 2.5 weeks old and it's had probably about 2 mows as well. And we'll do that at half rate as well, not full rate, just so we don't have any potential of damaging this new grass here. You just always would rather be safe than sorry. You can definitely hand weed them if you'd like to, but this is 500 square meters of grass here, and there's quite a lot of those little weeds throughout this whole area. Basically every 2 steps you'll find a couple of weeds here and there, but it's not uber thick. Like the grass is way thicker and definitely taking over. If I have any big suckers like this, I'll probably have to come around and hand weed some of those ones that are choking out the grass around it. But yeah, this is the main reason we sow this time of year as well, because we don't have too much competition with things like paspalum germinating, crabgrass, or we call it summer grass here in Australia. You don't have too much competition with that, and if it does come up now, it'll die off in the next couple of weeks when our temps start dropping. So we're going to put more of this ryegrass seed down. As I've told you guys, I tend to do this 3 to 5 times when I'm sowing ryegrass onto bare dirt. Because it does not creep, as I've said to you guys, you get wash, parts won't germinate sometimes. It is just the way it is. So I'm gonna put some down today. So I'm only really gonna focus on the areas that are thinner. So you can obviously shut it off when you get to some thick spots and then let it back on again once we get to the areas that are a little bit thinner. And then once we've done that, we'll roll it in again with a cylinder mower. I might even cut and let some of the grass lay on top of that as well. Just do it at the same time if there's any more that cuts into there, which will help cover the seed a little bit. And if I've got a really, really bare area, I might bring the wheelbarrow down with some, or the skiddy just because it'll be easier, with some sand and just top dress some of those really thin areas, but only really lightly. Otherwise, if you're on a smaller block, you can actually just mix up some seed in a bucket with some sand or with some topsoil, or even some potting mix I've used before, to be honest, and just sprinkle it on with the dirt and the seed at the same time, and then just trample in with your feet. There's many ways you can do it, and it all works. Seeds all down. I went over the really, really thin parts a couple of times, didn't use my hand on some areas. So, mate, there's still a bit of seed left over, so I've probably got about close to 10 kilos left, which is good. So if we need to do any more spots, we can, but I'm hoping this is the last time we have to overseed. Now, I was gonna bring some sand down from a pile I put up the top, but I'm actually just gonna get some sand off the green around the edges where some of the grass is popping up anyway, and just use that to top dress instead on those thin areas. Okay, so today we're putting down a liquid fert mix. So putting down basically my lawn tips mix, but I'm adding in all the products from that mix there. So the Brilliance, the Fertilize, the Nourish, and the Roots. And the reason I'm putting this down is because of all the added phosphorus and the potassium in there as well, which is going to be really good to give our seed some strength and also help with the root system as well. And all the microbes in this mix, it'll be great to help with germination and just to get this liquids to last just a little bit longer as well. So we're going to put it out at half rate. So we're doing 200 ml per 100 square meters for all of these products. You can go at a higher rate than that. Even on new seed you probably could, it wouldn't be a problem, but we're just going to stick to the lower rates for a bit. I might apply this again in the next 3 weeks just to keep things going, but we should see a nice kick of colour, even though it's pretty dang green at the moment. And we should really see it start to get quite thick, vigorous, and it should like root down really, really nicely. Now this mix is great to use on any lawn. It's fine on any grass type, especially great for autumn time when you're trying to get it ready for winter, but also great for springtime as well when you're trying to get it ready for summer. So it's a great all-round mix that you can use all year round, and you can swap out the Nourish and Roots on the season depending on what you want to get out of it, or you can mix and match it all. It doesn't really matter, but great mix. Anyway, let's track it out. I am super happy how this is looking at the moment. I reckon even since yesterday this has thickened up quite a bit. Just after giving it a cut, it's helped it just tiller out a bit and starting to grow nice and thick. And that cylinder mower is cutting super clean, no torn blades, nothing pulled out with it as well. It's just looking really, really good. I'll show you guys an update too. So this is the drone shot from 5 days ago. This is a drone shot from today. So there's definitely a difference in growth, in color. You can really, really see the difference. I mean, hopefully you guys can see the difference on the camera here from what it was a couple of days ago. And it should get thicker with this overseed with a bit of fertilizer on it now. Now I'm not going to water this fertilizer in for about an hour and then water in afterwards. So we'll get some uptake in the foliage. We'll also get some uptake down in the roots as well when we water it in bit by bit. Sort of getting two things with one. You can either choose to apply this as just a foliar feed and leave for about 4 hours, or you can do a bit of both by leaving the leaf for a bit and then water it in, or you can just water it in straight away with a really light water to get it down to the roots. So a very versatile product, which is good. But mate, can't wait to show you guys this in even like 2 or 3 days. So by the next video you guys see, I reckon this will be looking quite different, and that'll only be 2 days after I shoot this vid. Thank you all for watching. If you guys are interested in that fertilizer product, it is on my website. I appreciate you guys buying from there because it does help me do this green build and pay for everything that's going on in this property at the moment. Appreciate you guys so much. But yeah, make sure you guys subscribe if you're not subscribed already. That also helps me out. Like this video if you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys in a couple of days for sowing the bent grass on this grain just here. I'm gonna start getting things ready this afternoon and start shooting a video tomorrow for you guys to see very soon. Right, see yous.